Brought to you by Fowl Factory.
Welcome to this episode of Hardline Outdoors. This episode puts us towards the end of October. In the weeks prior to this hunt, we had done a lot of field hunting as the goose numbers in our area had started to increase. And normally towards the end of October, we are focused on goose hunting as the numbers in our area do increase. But we decided to switch it up. We got a tip that there were a good amount of ducks in the Fox Valley area that week. Even though we knew nothing about the spot, we still packed up the trucks and took the 2-hour drive up to where we were going to hunt. When we got there, we started unpacking the cars, putting the stuff in the boats, and started paddling across the water. We started getting closer to the spot. We thought we'd be able to pull right up to the spot, but unfortunately, the water started getting pretty shallow. It got to about 3 to 4 inches. So with the weight of the gear and ourselves in the boat, we decided to hop out and started walking in. And when we started walking in, we noticed right away that the mud was probably 3 feet deep, and it was just a pain to walk through. It was hot that day. It was bluebird sky. There was no wind. We got about 100 yards into walking to where we wanted to go for our spot, and we noticed that there were birds already flying in the area. So we decided to tuck into the cattails and set up right where we were. When we set up, there were birds working almost immediately. There were birds flying. We saw a good amount of birds that day. Something that really helped us that day, even though it was a bluebird sky day, was the fact that the sun was at our back. So when the sun is at your back and the birds are landing into your face, it really helps camouflage you that much better. Something else that helped us too was the fact that there were only singles and doubles coming, every few minutes. It wasn't huge flocks. The more eyes that you have looking at you, the more camouflaged you need to be. Even though we did have a successful hunt that day, we decided we wanted to pull out early as we had created a lot of commotion coming into the spot, and we wanted to save the area for when we had a better plan and better weather conditions so that way we could really get a good hunt. Having been there before and knowing the area, we decided to get back out there a few days later after a cold front had pushed through. And the change in conditions and having a better plan, we had a really great hunt, so check it out.
So we're out here in central Wisconsin, doing a little duck hunting this afternoon. Wanted to get out and do some field hunting this morning, but we had rain all morning, heavy rain, so we figured let's wait a little bit, let's travel up north here a little bit and see if we can get on some ducks. We're hunting on a lake here. We got a little slough. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, and these birds, they leave in the morning and then they kind of trickle their way back here throughout the afternoon. We've already seen a fair amount of ducks swinging around, but what we got is we got a south wind out on the big lake out here. Stiff wind. There's actually whitecaps, but what we got back in this little slough, we got a little finger of vegetation that kind of sticks out into the lake, and there's this little pocket of calm water here. So these birds, we're hoping that they're going to swing down to see this calm spot, and they want to sit by these other birds. We only got about a dozen decoys out. You don't need a lot of them. We know there's a lot of birds in this area, but we're going to give her a shot tonight. Hopefully the wind and the ducks cooperate. We have a pretty good shoot. So we just finished up our hunt here out on the lake and had a really good hunt. We got a 4-man limit of mallards and also picked up 5 green-winged teal. His slack water was perfect. We had a south wind, big waves coming across the lake. I actually had whitecaps when we got out here. But we had a little vegetation that kind of stuck off this clump of cattails here and a little bit of slack water. It's only about 30-40 yards across, and threw a couple decoys out there and those birds wanted to come right in here, get out of the wind a little bit. But overall it was a great hunt. Like I said, we got a 4-man limit and we had a great time. Saw a lot of birds. Saw some the green-winged teal that we did see, they were grouped up. So it seems like those birds are starting to group up now and head south. Usually we don't even see green-winged teal this time of year, but we're gonna get all packed up, head in, clean these birds, and have something to eat.
Following the tip that we received was probably the best thing that could have happened to us. We traveled to a new area, got on some ducks, and it ended up paying off for both of our hunts. On the first hunt, we had a good number of birds on the ground, but it ended up being more of a scouting hunt for us, as the only thing that we really knew about the area was that there were a good number of birds there. On the second hunt, however, we had a better plan of attack. The conditions were in our favor. We still knew there were a lot of birds in the area. We knew where to set up, where the birds were going to be, and overall, it just ended up being a more successful hunt for us. Some tips and some keys to success for us were having the sun at our back on the first hunt. You know, it really helps camouflage you better against those weary birds. On the second hunt, the wind was in our favor. We had done scouting from the earlier hunt, and using those two things in unison really helped us to be more successful on our second hunt than our first hunt. You know, using the weather in your favor and having a good plan of attack are really ways that you can increase your output on your future hunts as well. That's going to be it for this episode of Hardline Outdoors. Stay tuned, as on our next episode we go and chase some divers.